WHAM Wham Radio, Season 3, Episode 11. The Wham Radio Halloween Special with 3 spooky stories.
Let's dive right into story 1. Lemur, Rocky, Fauna, and Pixie are leaving the town of Eagle Falls to go to Rocky's Ridge, swimming.
I can't believe I was finally able to convince you all to duck out from work and go swimming at this cool place I found not too far away from work.
What was the name of this place again?
Rocky's Ridge? It's right next to Lemur Mountain.
Hey, I was gonna say that. I always hoped and dreamed that there would be a place named after me somewhere. I just figured it would be a street name.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better day. It's like 105 degrees outside. It's a perfect day to get out and just lounge in the sun and do nothing.
How much further do we have to go?
It's just up ahead, past the Tom Hannock's reservoir.
Lemur pulled off alongside the road and got out of the car. Everyone followed him down to the little hidden beach through the woods. Lemur stripped off all of his clothes and jumped into the water and began swimming towards the platform that was in the center of the lake. Rocky quickly jumped in after Lemur, following him.
Lem, you horny toad idiot. This water's like super cold. And something is touching me.
Yeah, you're right, it's super cold, but it feels so good. And haven't you ever been swimming in a lake before? How about a pond? It's just the algae in the water. Don't worry about it.
Sadie got to the edge of the water and bent down and dipped her hand into the water.
Holy cow! That water is super cold. I think I'm just...
Fawna pushed Sadie into the water, but she was quick enough to turn around and pull Fawna in with her. Rocky began to float on his back, paranoid of the algae touching him. Fawna and Sadie began to splash one another, forgetting how cold the water was.
Come on, follow me out to the center of this lake.
That's Rocky's Ridge, bird dog.
We can chill on that thing, relax, and not have a care in the world for a few hours.
They all began to swim towards the deck that was floating in the center of the lake. Lemur had left the car door open and the music blaring, and he would be the first to make it to the floating deck. As he got there, he would help up Rocky, and then the guys lifted up the girls onto the dock. As Sadie got up, she scratched her leg up against the side of the wooden dock. She would be okay, but a few drops of blood would enter the water.
Ow, son of a bitch!
What did you say about Lemur?
Hey, you little tool bag. Babe, are you okay?
Yeah, just a scratch. I'll be fine.
I gotta hand it to you, Rock. I don't know how you found this place, but it's beautiful.
I found it online. I just researched Rocky's Ridge in the bird feeder, and this is what came up.
Hello? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? I love you, me!
I think we should just be friends.
Wait, what?
Lem, what's that thing floating towards us?
Oh, it's just algae. It's nothing. It can't hurt you. It's just floating in the water. It's completely harmless. Ah, it's green!
Oh, you douchebag. Wait, that's algae right there, floating right at us. Oh my bugs, Lemsicle. That's what the article was saying online. Everybody, we gotta get out of here. Let's hurry up, swim back to shore.
Rocky jumped into the water and started swimming ashore. The algae in the water raced across the surface and then followed after him. Nobody thought anything of it, as Rocky's current in the water started pulling the algae towards him. As he swam back to shore, Rocky would dip his head underneath the water and begin to doggy paddle for his life. He never looked back and would make it to the shore and climb up.
Me. Not today, algae eater. I'm gonna run for some help. I'll be right up.
Not a moment sooner, the algae reached the edge of the water and reached up and clung onto Rocky and began to devour him.
Ow! Ow! Oh, son of a...
Water fatality.
Oh, my Bugs Bunny! Holy cow! Rocky!
Hurry up! Let's swim to the other side while it's on that side.
Sadie jumped into the water and began to swim, but the algae eater would quickly turn around when it heard her jump into the water. It started to move ferociously in her direction. With Rocky now devoured, it had a new target in its simple mind.
Sadie, no! Get back here! It's too far away! You'll never make it! We have safety in numbers.
It's all the way over. Ah! Where did it go?
Go, Sadie, go! Sadie, go, go, go! It's about halfway to you now.
Sadie battled for her life and would even make it to the other side safely. Nobody knew where the algae eater had gone as it had dove underneath the water. As Sadie was at the other side, she tried to pull herself up, but would fail to do so. She maneuvered all around, but couldn't find a way to get herself back up onto the shore. She turned around to look at lemur and fauna, and then began to swim back. She would make it to the floating dock, and lemur would rush over and pull her up, but the algae eater would grasp onto her leg and pull her back into the water, devouring her like it did Rocky. Lemur let go of her and let the algae eater have her, and got out and held fauna back as they watched everything in terror. Brutal water fatality.
Lemur, let me go! I can make it. Rocky made it, but he was just a dumbass and didn't run straight for the car.
Fauna, no. That thing, the algae eater's right underneath us. I think our best bet is just to wait it out. I don't think it can get us up here.
The algae eater would move itself underneath the floating dock. Fauna looked all around them for anything that they could use to save themselves, but there was nothing but a big tubed circle float. She went to move towards it, holding on to Lemur scared, and only stepped on the floorboards of the deck. While Lemur began to move, he would step on the cracks. Have you ever heard this saying, step on a crack, break your mama's back? Well, oops, sorry, I got distracted. As Lemur stepped onto the crack, the algae eater would be able to grip onto him from underneath and begin to devour him, slowly dragging his body over to the edge to kill and eat him too.
Fauna, you're gonna have to. Oh! Oh, my Bugs Bunny, it got me! Oh, holy cow! No, Fauna, don't step on the cracks! Ah! Or it will get you too!
No, Lemur! Damn it, bird dog.
Fauna, hurry up and go! It's learning what I know, and I know what Rocky and Sadie knew. Swim like a goose and beat it out of here!
Fauna grabbed the float and made her way to the edge of the deck. She threw it down and hopped inside of it. She hadn't realized that there was one problem. How was she going to float back to the shore without touching the water? She quickly got into the center of the float and began to push and swim herself to shore. The algae eater took its sweet time devouring Lemur and would slowly drag his body over the edge of the floating dock. As it quickly feasted upon his corpse within seconds, the algae eater would turn and start to chase Fauna, who was about halfway to safety. She hurried up and got in the center of the float, pulling her body out of the water, and began to float towards Lemur's car with a little bit of momentum. But the momentum of the raft would eventually stop, and the algae eater would catch up with her. It would swim in circles, creating a whirlpool, trapping her in circles for hours. A random car in the distance could be seen, and Fauna began to flag them down.
Oh, my Bugs Bunny. Holy cow. I'm saved. Hello, over here. Please save me. I'm trapped in the water.
As she was distracted by the car, she hadn't noticed the float she was in never fully was filled with any air and had begun leaking from the very point that she put it in the water. As the random car would pull up next to Lemur's car, Tommy Turtle and Pixie Possum would get out and scream.
Fauna! Fuck me, I've been looking for you everywhere. Luckily, I know how to track you through my phone. What are you doing up here?
Yeah, where's Lemur and Rocky?
Fauna, you gotta get out of there.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I can't move. The algae eater is right below me. I need help. Get a long stick or a rope or something.
As long as you're not wet or didn't get in the water, you'll be okay.
Fuck!
The algae eater reached up through the center of the tube and would pull Fauna through it. Grasping onto her wet bathing suit, Pixie went running towards the edge to try to save Fauna as the algae eater toyed with her like a kid playing with the food on their plate. Pixie grabbed a giant tree branch nearby and reached it into the water. Fauna would barely be able to grab it and hold onto it, and it looked like Fauna would actually be saved. A few seconds would pass and Tommy Turtle would run down to the beach and help Pixie pull on the long branch to release Fauna from the algae eater's grasp. But nobody expected the algae eater to be as strong as it was, it now had the strength of Sadie, Lemur, and Rocky inside of it, as well as countless other victims that we didn't know about. Pixie and Tommy would begin to feel themselves being lifted off the ground and over the water, holding the branch.
What the fuck? Hey, give us our friends back.
The algae eater forced what looked like Rocky to its skin, but from the inside, and it mumbled,
Hey, bird dog, you are so fucked.
You're a fucking cocksucker, Rocky.
Only 3 seconds passed, but it felt like minutes to them. In the last few moments, Pixie and Tommy would die trying to be heroes. The algae eater would eat them all and return back to the safety of the water with its belly full. A few days would pass, and we see a human man emerged out from the lake. He looks confused and can't form any words. What you just witnessed is evolution, but was it wrong place at the wrong time? Or maybe it was destiny. Did Lemur, Rocky, Fawna, Sadie, Pixie, or Tommy have any free choice? Or was it all just for your entertainment, here, now, as a thought within the mind? Story 2. In this story, we come across your average ordinary guy. He is a custodian for a college. Let's call him JD. JD is a good guy. He comes in, does his job, and minds his own business, and doesn't get into the politics or drama. That is his job. He's what you would call an introvert. We see him diligently working away, talking to himself in different voices.
99.9 WHAM Wham Radio. Your hits from yesterday to today.
Are you here for the job, Liam?
Yeah. How did you know my name?
Oh, you know, I only made a deal with the devil to get this voice acting job. Yep. And he would say, so, you want the part? And I would be like, duh. And he would be like, sign here. And I'd be like, okay. Yeah.
Rocky pretended to sign his name on a contract as if it was real, and his phone would go off and ring.
Hello. Hey, JD, it's me, your agent Mike. I just wanted to touch base and let you know that I've talked to WHAM Radio TV cartoon people, and they want to bring you in for Rocky and the Lemur.
What? Really? Shippy? No, wait. Shatter?
Yeah.
Totally, Shatter. So, when and where do I go, Mike? How does this work?
Tomorrow, you gotta do a conference call with Tom at 8. He'll be able to hook you up with all the details you need to know.
Okay, thanks, man.
JD hung up the phone.
Woohoo! Yeah! Can't believe I did it. I'm actually gonna be a voice in a cartoon. I can finally die a happy man now.
JD hurried up and finished his work and left to go home. He was excited. He practiced talking to himself in different voices along the way. When he got home, he did his normal routine stuff. He unpacked his lunch bag and did what little dishes he had left. Then he sat down and began watching some cartoons before eventually passing out on the couch. He would awake in the morning and get ready. The morning flew right by. Next thing he knew, it was 8 o'clock, and he was anxious for his meeting with Tom. The computer began ringing, and JD answered.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Pumped to be playing Lemur and Rocky Raccoon, Bird Dog. But I was wondering if you got any notes before we start?
Yeah, I guess. Don't be afraid to get cartoony with it, man. Like, by cartoony, I mean like weird, silly. Remember, it's up to you and how you say the line. It's mainly what people are going to think about when they hear the character in the story. It's up to you to sell it with your voice. No pressure at all, though.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Okay, when you're ready to give me some of Rocky's lines.
Hey, bird dog, so how do you feel about cookies being dipped in milk?
Well, I'm not really a cookie dipper in milk kind of Lemur, but to each his own, I guess.
See, I disagree. Oreos, Chips Ahoy, homemade, soft hard oatmeal, all cookies should be dipped in milk.
So, Fauna, if I dip my balls in milk, are you gonna call them cookies?
That's hilarious that you can laugh at both of them at the same time. Okay, next line.
I have no clue where to even find a transmitter. Maybe Gotham?
I do love ham.
Really? I hate it. Why are you telling me you love ham?
Because you want to go to Gotham. They got ham there. It's even in the name and how you spell it. Got ham. Gotham. It's how you spell it.
Oh, really? I thought it was where the goths hung out till like early morning. You know, goth AM. You know, if I was a goth, that's where I'd live.
Why? Because you would be a goth, and you would live in Gotham? Therefore, you would be a goth in the AM living in Gotham. Try saying that 10 times fast.
I'm a goth in the AM living in Gotham. I'm a goth in the AM living in Gotham. I'm a goth in the AM living in Gotham. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is crazy hard to say.
See, I told you. You were good until you fucked up on the 3rd time, Bird Dog. Hey, you want to know another one?
Sure, hit me. Ow! Dick move, bruh.
Okay, here's the second one. The busy blue bee bit the brown bear because Betty Boop baked blueberry banana bread. Now say that 10 times fast.
Very good, Josh.
Who's Josh? You mean Rocky? I'd answer to Lemur as well.
Okay, Rocky, you're all good for today. I'll be in touch with you in a few days to record more lines for the next few episodes.
Josh signed off from his computer and got ready to go to work. He practiced his lines over and over again for the whole 8-hour shift. He was determined to make his dream a reality. After work, he would go home and do his normal routine and ended up passing on the couch to cartoons on the TV. But this time, he dreamt about being Rocky Raccoon. He saw the blue sky of Eagle Falls, the Wham radio building, and it was as if he was really in the cartoon now. He went and walked over to the building, and it looked just as he had imagined it. He went over to a desk and sat down. It took him a moment before he realized this was his cubicle. Lemur and Fawna would walk into the office and greet him.
Hey, babe. So, for the next promotion that Liam and I are going to do is going to be a real hoop. I'm trying to get action figures made of all the DJs here at Wham Radio.
Oh, snap. Let me help. I know a guy that can punko flop us. We'll look badass and adorable at the same time.
Aw, that sounds so cool. Do it up. After our next promotion, it's going to be with Chicken Alfredo, and they're going to go around the radio stations looking for a new guitarist.
Whoa, that sounds so gnarly. And they're coming here?
Yep, we chose like 6 animals to play guitar for them, and then they may select one of them to play at their show that night.
Whoa, that's so shatter. I wish I knew how to play guitar, but I only know how to play bass. Completely worthless, right? But wait a minute, what happened to Miller?
You didn't hear. He shredded his guitar on stage so hard, he evaporated.
Whoa, that's definitely a shatter shibby.
Hey, hon, what are you doing here today? On your day off?
Wait, what?
Rocky quickly muttered to himself.
This is such a cool dream. I mean, I just came down to see if you and Liam needed any help. I got bored at the house.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go make that call.
Nah, I think we're good, hun. Thanks, though. Oh, by the way...
Rocky started not to pay attention after Fawna said, "By the way." This is what the thought was inside of his mind.
By the way, I tried to say I'd be there, waiting for bow wow 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 wow. Straight jack, stop light, this is fun, no sense.
This is what she was saying as Rocky was zoned out.
I hired you as a full-time employee now, so you get the healthcare benefits, vacay, sick time, and all that fun jazz. Also, I have made you the street team event coordinator. Congrats, babe.
Oh, kissed and never missed ya. Oh, kissed and never missed ya.
Fawna gave him a kiss on the head and walked away.
Okay, Bird Dog, now's the time for me to wake up.
Rocky tried to wake himself up like he had done every other time, but it wasn't working. He tried slapping himself, but nothing. He threw water in his face, but that didn't work either. He ran into the main office and looked all around. There was now not a soul in sight.
Oh wait, I know. If this is a dream, I won't be able to flick paint upon myself, and I'll just wake up.
He walked over to the paper cutter and lifted up the handle. He put his finger underneath the blade and would pull it down. As he did this, he would awake.
Oh man, what a fucking weird dream. I can't tell if it was a nightmare or not, but it was really cool to be Rocky Raccoon. But I've never had a hard time waking myself up before.
As he got out of his bed and looked down at his hand, he was missing a finger.
What the fuck? I don't remember missing a finger.
He hurried up and went underneath his bed and dug out a photo album. He looked at photos of himself from the past, and no matter what, he was always missing a finger in all of the photos throughout his life. As he walked into the living room of his house, a woman would walk through the door and greet him.
Hey, honey, I'm home.
Hey, Kel, have I always had 9 fingers?
Yes, ever since we were in elementary school together.
Babe, I just had a really weird dream that I was like Rocky Raccoon, and I sliced off my finger to prove that I was dreaming, but I don't think I was really dreaming.
Josh, you play Rocky Coon. I know because I'm Fawna. Are you okay? Maybe you should go lay down. I'll bring us some water. You look super pale.
JD lied down on the couch and closed his eyes, and Kelly would bring him some water.
Are you going to be okay, bird dog? I gotta step out and run a couple errands. I can grab you something if you need me to.
No, I'm good. And yeah, I'll be okay. I think I just had a nightmare. I'm gonna go and try to keep my thoughts positive and lie back down for a hot minute.
Okay, hon, I hope you feel better. Oh, before I forget, Tom called and said you did a fantastic job, and to get a hold of him on the next couple of days.
Okay, thanks, babe.
Josh went into his bedroom and lied down in the bed. It took him a while to get comfortable, but once he did, he was back to dreamland as Lemur and Rocky.
Dude, little brah, are you okay? You almost chopped off your finger.
I did? I mean, I thought I did. Wait, how did you know that?
Because I just watched you do it. Are you okay? What's wrong?
I had the weirdest dream that I was a human and I had 9 fingers, and this random ugly guy voiced me in a cartoon audiobook.
Was it any good?
It was okay. Some episodes were funny, and then some were scary, and others just didn't make sense.
Sounds about right for one person making everything. Either way, you're back here now and everything's fine.
Wait, Liam, what's going on?
As Rocky was running to catch up with Lemur, a puff of smoke would emerge in front of him, and Lemur would turn into Satan.
What's going on is I've granted your wish.
I never wished for anything.
Oh no? Remember this?
Oh, you know, I'd make a deal with the devil to get this voice acting job, and he would be like, "You want the part?" And I would be like, "Yeah, duh." And he'd be like, "Sign here."
Rocky pretended to sign his name on the contract as if it was real. His phone would ring.
A deal's a deal, even with a dirty dealer. Especially fun when I get a squealer. Ha 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 ha. You see, Rocky, you wished with all your heart's content to become the voice of Rocky Raccoon. But little did you know, a deal with Satan is a crooked deal. I've simply given you everything you've asked for. When you dream now, it will be what your life was as a person. And Rocky Coon will be your new template for adventures. Or at least when one gets written.
What? No, you can't do this. Change me back.
2 for 2. Good show. Maybe Rocky will learn to be more careful about what he wishes for in the future. Because when you wish upon a star, dreams come frightfully true. Strap in and hang on. It's story 3, the final story.
Alright, everybody, that's a wrap for the episode. We just need to do the narrator's intro. Hey, Pixie, could you please give me the narration on cue card?
Sure thing, no problem. Hey, Tom, can I ask you something between you and I?
Oh boy, I love these questions. Yes, go ahead and ask away.
You don't think these stories are, like, cheesy or outdated at all? Like an algae eater? Guy literally becomes a cartoon, like, come on. Is this a kid's show? I don't know. Maybe I lack the imagination.
Remember, JD's dreams were our reality, like our dreams are to his reality. And don't forget that the algae eater is supposed to be Leroy's and Ricky's dead bodies that were dumped in the lake from, like, episode 8. But, no, I appreciate your concern, but I'm gonna roll with it. I don't write it, I just direct it.
I know, I wrote it. I just think it could be better. I'm having a hard time believing what I'm writing.
Okay, well, if you want to brainstorm some new ideas, I'll get a creative team together and we'll see what we can do. Is that cool?
That sounds like a dream come true. Thanks, Tom. I won't let you down. Sky's the limit.
Awesome. Let me know. And get those narration cue cards for me, please.
I'm on it.
Pixie walked into the editing room to grab some of the narration cue cards and started writing down the narrator's parts.
Hey, Pixie, look at this. What am I looking at? Lemur in a Speedo? No, thank you. No, look closer. What? I don't see anything but Rocky's stubby tail. No, you idiot. That's not his tail. Look over here at the lake. Back in the woods, there's a strange black blur watching everything moving around. It's probably just from the sun hitting the camera angle just right. Don't worry about it. Wait, but look at this. It's also a reflection off the mirror in the second story. And shows up again all over within the short stories. Director Tom is gonna be pissed when he finds out.
So what? Do you want me to tell him?
If you don't mind. He totally likes you. It's like softening the blow to a guy you don't really like. Please?
Fine, but you owe me one.
Deal.
Pixie walked out of the production office with her cue cards and returned back to the set.
Hello? Tom? Josh? Kelly? Mike? Come on, Lily, stop messing around.
She wandered all around the set, calling out the names, but nobody would be around.
Where could they have all gone to?
She began walking through different sets, not realizing she was being watched from afar.
Hello? Come on, you guys, this prank is stupid. I got the cue cards, let's finish the scene.
She walked down to another set where the first story was filmed. She looked all around, but still there was nobody around. She looked over where the shadows were in the woods, but it was empty.
See, I told Sadie it was just a camera trick.
As Pixie turned around to walk away, she would see a black, blurred figure coming towards her quickly.
Oh, thank God.
Pieces of the scenery, like fake cars and rocks, would begin to lift up into the air and then drop down back to the ground.
Sorry, thank Bugs Bunny, finally somebody's around.
She went to walk forward, uncertain, when she realized that it was the strange blur that was hidden in the back of the scenery of this episode, and it started to walk towards her.
What the hell? Okay, Sadie, you got me. The blurry man is real. You can stop now.
Come here, Pixie. I want to.
Pixie would turn around and run away.
I don't want to do this, you guys. This isn't a very funny prank.
She scurried off to the next part of the set and hid inside of what appeared to be JD's apartment. She looked all around but only saw one spot to hide.
Yeah, I'll hide under the bed. That way, no matter what, I have an out.
She dove underneath the bed and covered her mouth. There was nothing but total silence as the blurred figure walked onto the set. She closed her eyes tightly and waited for the blur to expose themselves, but nothing happened. When she opened up her eyes, she saw there was lots of feet all around and emerged from underneath the bed.
I'm so sorry. Let me just get out of the...
She got up off the ground and started to move off the set when she noticed Director Tom. Pixie was looking down, not paying attention, as she was embarrassed as she maneuvered her way off the set. As she looked up at Director Tom, she saw the blurred figure standing right behind him.
What the fuck, guys? The blur is stalking me. It's not funny. I've had it.
She looked all around, but nobody was looking at her. In fact, it looked like as if the scene was never interrupted at all. She took off her shoes and armed herself with them.
Come at me, secret squirrel. I'll mess you up.
Things from around the set would begin to fly in the air towards her, like a book, a lamp, and even Rocky.
Oh, come on.
Pixie immediately ran off as the blur had called her bluff. As she ran around the corner, she stopped back and looked to see if she had lost the shadowy figure, but she hadn't. It walked slowly, but with a purpose towards her. She ran to the next set, making her way back to try to exit the building. The blurred figure would quickly appear. Now in front of her, she would hurry up and hide in the fake woods of the background of the set. She made her way cautiously through the fake woods in the background. As the scene began, she looked over and noticed everything was playing through as if they had recorded it. As she looked over at the gang, she would see Rocky and Sadie die.
I don't understand. How can any of this be happening? It's all fake. It's not real.
Pixie navigated around the fake woods and would get off the set quickly. She only had one more move to make before she would be home free, and it was through the final white, scary door that always seemed to be so harmless, but now had turned into hope and freedom of what seemed to be a bad day.
Get your shit together, girl. You just gotta get through the next scary door, go home, relax, come back tomorrow, and start with a fresh mind.
As she walked towards the door, the blur walked through it.
Are you ready to see?
Get away from me, you sick fuck. I don't want to see anything.
My intentions are not to hurt you, but you must choose to see.
Pixie went to run away, but the blur would pop in front of her, and she would trip over her dumb feet and hurt her ankle.
Ow!
What do you want? Just fucking do it already. Stop torturing me.
The blur stepped forward and revealed it was really her.
You see, Pixie, you are the blur in the background of all those shots.
But how? It's not possible. How did nobody see me?
When you let go of your view of what should be and accept it for what it is, you will see everything.
But how are you me?
The blur faded away from existence, and Pixie got up and went to run out the door when she heard someone call her name.
Pixie! Cue cards!
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to them. Tom, are you pulling a prank on me? I keep seeing a blur around here stalking me. It looked like me. Is this a messed up prank you're pulling?
Pixie, go home and get some rest. You earned it. Don't worry about the cue cards. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that.
Pixie walked through the door, closed her eyes, and released a heavy sigh of relief. Her day was finally done. When she opened up her eyes, she was in a white room, tucked safely cuddled in her bed. She looked all around and saw her fingers. She sprung up and looked in the mirror and saw she was actually now a human.
Fuck, where the hell am I?
You're in a place that's safe, like a thought within the mind. But thoughts can be dangerous. Look at Pixie. She thought the stories being told tonight were kiddish. But when she went to investigate the blur, she learned the mind can also be a frightening thing. It's okay to live out in the ether. Just make sure you don't get lost, kiddos.